Welcome to today's deep dive. So glad you could join us because we are unpacking some intense recent reports from Fox News about this sudden, massive eruption of violence in the Middle East.
Yeah, there's a lot to cover. It's getting incredibly complex over there.
Totally. Our mission today is to impartially unpack these reports. We're looking at the unprecedented military escalation, sure, but also the hidden economic forces that are actually driving the conflict.
Right, the money behind the missiles.
Exactly. So let's start with the immediate trigger, the spark. Overnight, Iran launched a surprise attack, firing 5 ballistic missiles at U.S. forces who were traveling to Jordan.
And just to be clear, all 5 of those were successfully intercepted.
Which is great, obviously, but still, it's like a lit match thrown into a powder keg. I mean, 5 intercepted missiles. Was this a calculated probe by Iran or just, a desperate lashing out after that brief lull in fighting we just had?
Well, it really looks like the latter. It
Yeah.
seems like desperate flailing when you connect that strike to the regional response it provoked.
Yeah, the historic blowback.
Exactly. In retaliation, we saw U.S. and Saudi planes launching joint airstrikes in Iraq. And they were specifically targeting Iran-backed Shia militias.
And according to the sources, those specific militias were responsible for, 30 drone attacks in just the past 3 days?
Yeah, 30 attacks, so the threat was very active.
But I have to push back on something here because Saudi Arabia directly joining these strikes is totally unprecedented.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. So, is this just standard military deterrence or is a totally new line being drawn here?
It is definitely a new line. Saudi Arabia is stepping in specifically to protect its energy infrastructure. You have to contextualize the sheer scale of the proxy threat to understand why they're getting involved.
How big of a scale are we talking?
Well, between February and April of 2026, there were over 600 attempted attacks on U.S. citizens and facilities by these Iran-aligned militias.
Wait, really? 600?
Yeah, over 600. So Saudi Arabia is making it crystal clear that their oil facilities are off limits.
Okay, that makes sense. So, to understand why Iran's proxies are attacking literally everywhere, from those Iraqi militias down to the Houthis in Yemen, we have to look at the root cause, right?
Yeah, and that root cause is Iran's internal financial collapse.
Because of the blockade.
Right. A U.S. naval blockade has effectively choked off Iran's ability to export oil. We're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars lost every single day.
Which is just a staggering amount of money to lose.
It's devastating. Inflation is soaring, and it's gotten so bad that the IRGC, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, reportedly cannot even pay its own soldiers.
Wow. But amidst all of this, the reports note Iran just rejected an Omani proposal to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. Why reject a lifeline if you're broke?
Because that lifeline comes with heavy strings. Any deal would require massive concessions regarding their nuclear ambitions.
I see. It's like they're a cornered chess piece. They only have 2 legal moves left on the board. They either initiate a wider war to get leverage, or they sign a negotiated settlement about their nuclear program and the strait.
That is precisely the binary choice they are facing.
Yeah.
And that choice is exactly why President Trump and Israeli PM Netanyahu held high-stakes meetings at the White House to weigh their next steps.
Because they know Iran is cornered.
Right. They are planning around the fact that Iran is running out of options fast.
So for you listening, it's important to connect these dots. When you see this kinetic, missile-firing warfare dominating your newsfeed, you're really just seeing the explosive symptom of massive, unsustainable economic strangulation.
Yeah, the violence is loud, but the bankruptcy is what's really driving it.
Exactly. Which leaves us with a pretty provocative final thought for you to ponder. If a regime's elite military proxy network is expanding its attacks, but the central force cannot even afford to pay its own soldiers.
Literally missing payroll.
Right. What happens internally when the financial breaking point arrives before any diplomatic resolution can be reached?